Is that a cuneiform tablet?
Yeah.
What is?
That's where I keep my
You got
notes.
your notes? Okay, what do you got?
Yeah. I watched a movie and a TV show. I think they're both good recommendations. Which do you want to hear about?
Movie.
It's a Nicolas Cage movie with Pedro Pascal. It's
Double
called it's got an odd name. It's like The Incredible Burden of Immeasurable Talent or something like that. You'll find it if you've searched. But it's fascinating. Nicolas Cage plays himself, and the premise is he's down on his luck. He needs some money. His agent's like, there's a guy who wants to pay you $1 million for a birthday party, and it's Pedro Pascal. And so he goes to Pedro Pascal's like amazing place, and like they have this bromance that kicks off, and it's really interesting. It's really funny, and I liked it. And it might be the best Nicolas Cage movie I've seen in a really long time, because it's a little meta, because they're talking about making a movie together. Pedro's like, and so they'll be like, I don't know, I definitely want a big drug scene though, you know, where they're just fucked up. Meanwhile, they both just dropped acid. They're referring to the drug scene in the movie that they are making, that they are in right now, as well as the movie that they would potentially create together in this fictional universe. So it's very meta in that way, and that happens a couple times. And then he's like, I don't know, you're gonna want some moments for the trailer. Pull, boom. And it's like that was in the trailer. Him shooting that gun was in the trailer. Like, there it is. Yeah. But the story is actually interesting, and I found Nicolas Cage's performance of himself was really good. It was really good. I don't know.
I think he's one of the greatest American actors.
You know, you don't have to do that. You know, this is like that. This is like that thing when somebody shows up and they're like, guess how much? Guess how much I spent on this? Until it was like $85 million.
There's nothing better.
Guess how much weight I lost, Taylor? 75 pounds.
Yeah, it's like, fuck, no, not that much. Damn it.
Why are you being a piece of shit?
It's fun.
No, I've been enjoying The Last of Us so much that I wanted to watch some more Pedro Pascal stuff, and I knew that was out, so I went back and watched it last night. I really liked it. I thought it was great.
How do you
most recent one?
I was going to say, how would you compare Pedro Pascal's performances to like one of his more, like The Mandalorian? Do you prefer him in that role, or I prefer The Last of Us? But like, what do you think in terms of all of his other roles, like Game of Thrones? You know,
I really liked his suave nature in Game of Thrones. I liked that he was finally, we had a character that had enough like power, like not just physically, but enough power like socially in that world, that he could talk shit to anybody, that he could go up to the Lannisters and be like, yeah, you know, they're like, oh yeah, we don't really have bastards here, and it's like, yeah, well, we don't rape women and their children to death in my country. We find that distasteful. You know, he could talk shit to him. So I like that a lot. That's my favorite performance of his. That being said, I'm loving him as Joel. I'd never played the games before. I'm vaguely familiar with what they're about, like but don't have any interest in the game. But I'm loving the show. I think we're all up on the show to varying degrees.
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, the newest episode was good. There's a few little things that are like pacing related that I don't care for. It's
too
like
fast.
Kind of rushing through too fast.
They gotta stop. They should have spent some time taking a break, and then they can carry on.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to take longer. At least the story is like a few months is like the travel time in the show.
Yeah.
And then that's like an episode or two.
And I think that's a symptom of a project that needed to get enough viewership to get a season 2. They needed to craft a season 1 that would be a winner no matter what. And I think if it was a slow burn and it wasn't at the quality, I think it's capable of being a slow burn. It turned out it is, but they didn't know that. They didn't know that the chemistry was going to be that good. Mm-hmm. So I think when they wrote this thing, when they were like, yeah, let's get them all the way there by episode 5. How about that?
That was ridiculous. Like, it was jarring. It was just 1 week an episode when, what was it, like episode 3 or 4 or whatever, where they're like, like they're like passing the fucking Royals Stadium in Kansas City. And it's like, that is, so you're 1,000 miles like in just between episodes. You're right.
And
I didn't like that. I wanted more of an odyssey across the country.
I sent you guys the map today. I'll send it to Zach too, and it's a map of like the infection according to the.
Is that what that map was?
Yeah,
I was like, I don't know what cordyceps is. I know St. Louis is a little fucked. I guess I'll learn on the show.
Yeah.
Why is KC so fucked in this scenario?
So cordyceps are the fungus that caused all this. It's the MacGuffin, if you will. It's the big bad guy, and this map is based off of the intro map. When you're watching the show, the intro is a bit like Game of Thrones. You're not just seeing colorful montages of stuff. You're seeing relative information. And Game of Thrones, it changed week to week. It was really cool. Yeah, but here you get to see kind of how the outbreak started and spread in various areas. But if you look at this, how difficult it would be to go from Boston, I always forget just how far up and in the corner Boston is. For some reason, I always like picture it up there around Virginia, just on the right side of the coast. No, it's way the fuck up there in the corner. And they're going from there through there are a few paths that you could take on this map that would be more difficult than what they chose. I'm sure Zach will get it up eventually. It seems like they took one of the scariest routes possible to do what they needed to do. Not intentionally. It's just there's so much shit between them and where they're going.
But there's no reason when going from Boston to Wyoming to have a stop in Kansas City. If maybe. Kansas City is also like a ground zero kind of place.
Well, I think they might be following the games as far as that. I don't care where they stop or like where they do detour. I just wish they'd slow things down a little bit because to me, the meat and potatoes of the show, it's the opposite of Walking Dead. And Walking Dead thought we needed to have these characters chatting all the time. And it's like, dude, we're done with that. I don't care about this 8-string character's backstory. I don't care that his pregnant wife, like that he had to kill her 5 years ago because he's going to be dead.
When they start introducing characters where it's like, hey, calm down, Joshua. This isn't your D3 football field. And it's like, like that's how we're
never had the makings of a varsity athlete. Like,
if he throws a brick and kills someone later and makes a comment, I'm gonna scream. Like,
I don't need those guys' backstory. But in this, I feel like the meat and potatoes isn't the fighting of the zombies like it was in Walking Dead for me. I loved a good like zombie battle in that show, or in this, I want to see Joel and Ellie talk. I just want to see them talking the whole episode because she is so good. Yeah, look at this fucking trip they're making. Their chemistry is fantastic. I thought that his performance in this recent episode where he cracked up and started crying was tremendous when he's crying to his brother. I thought that was great. That almost made me cry. And but yeah, you look at this trip that they're making. Look where Kansas City is. It's right under the biggest blob in the nation. The biggest blob that exists
in the nation. And we're just gonna pop into KC. Why go through that nice little area from Toledo to Chicago up to Minneapolis?
Yeah,
I guess it'll be cold up there. To be fair, Taylor, like if you,
cold's better for it, right?
Well, I mean, but do you want to walk in the cold? I would. That would be my choice.
I would choose the cold.
I would choose the cold.
And those zombies, by the way, we've talked before about how there's different kinds of zombies, right?
Yeah.
There are the slow, dumb zombies that can't navigate a ladder or a chain link fence. And there are the fast, scary as hell zombies from 28 Days Later. These are pretty much 28 Days Later zombies. Yeah. Some of them they
have special abilities.
So the infection's slower, but don't they run hard?
This is its own thing, right? This is very interesting. I like when we get new kinds of zombies. 28 Days Later is a good example because those weren't zombies. Those were people with like a hemorrhagic fever / rabies type thing. So they were alive and living. And you don't have to shoot them in the head. You just got to put them down.
I have a more inclusive zombie definition.
No. I allow. They're in there.
Yeah.
No. I appreciate them. They're one of the types of zombies. If you ask me, this is a whole new thing though, being like a fungus puppet. I really like the implications of that, and the special types of them is neat. The bloater thing, I think that
the clicker
that coming up from the ground. You got the clicker.
I like the boss one that came out.
Yeah, I find all that very interesting. Here's another thing I did not like at all: the casting of like the boss lady back in the town.
Yeah,
I got no problem with a boss lady. But like, why didn't if you wanted that kind of character, her to look and sound like that, why didn't you just get Mulaney, who's Nick Offerman's wife, Megan Mulaney. Like
I don't know.
She's a good actress. She was on SNL. Like I don't know. Google Megan Mulaney. You'll see what she looks like. Anything would have been better than the chubby chick from 2.5 Men.
Is that who that was?
Yeah,
because
yeah,
that's you're right.
Charlie's like obsessed neighbor who's like always trying to like get him to fuck her again.
Like it was distracting seeing those like hard hitting guys like pretending to be afraid of her or whatever. It's like
respectful, I would say, because of her brother.
Because of her brother, but like she wasn't doing a very good job.
Yeah, Nick Offerman's wife, Megan Mulaney. I just thought that
who puts all the fungus down there in the catacombs and is like dusting their hands off like fucking done. 100% done. You gotta do more than just put them in the basement. You gotta fire them, something, fill it with concrete, anything but nothing.
Yeah, get her in there. She's great.
Him without a beard is weird to me.
That took me a second. That's neat.
Yeah,
I like his hair like that though.
Like no mustache.
I'm good with the hair. The beard's just not the actor.
He's much younger than you think. There were movies that I only watched. Like I'm not gonna watch again. Essentially, I'll never watch Green Mile again ever the rest of my life. It's too sad. Never gonna see it again.
What's the saddest movie you guys have ever seen? Like
it might be the fucking Green Mile, motherfucker. It's so fucking sad.
You know what?
I ask because mine is the Green Mile.
One impactful movie for me was that Will Smith movie with the jellyfish. 7 pounds, maybe something like that.
I don't think I've seen that one. What's it about?
I don't want to spoil too much, but Will Smith has a tremendous amount of guilt, and he's dealing with it by doing good things for people, and it ends sad.
It ends very sad. Well, actually, it's a bright spot. Like a sacrifice is made, and a lot of people prosper.
What's it called again?
7 pounds.
7 pounds. Okay,
it's really good.
Yeah,
I've never heard of that.
I'm trying to think of any movie that's sad. Or Edward Scissorhands is very sad to me. The Mist ends on a very depressing note.
The movie fucking sucked though.
Okay, asshole.
The Mist? Am I getting confused? Let me look in. Oh no, I'm thinking of The Fog. Yeah, the Fog was terrible. I don't know what The Mist is.
The Mist is another Stephen King movie. All right. There's a gentleman and his son. They go to a supermarket. They're there with a bunch of other characters, and unbeknownst to them, the military nearby has been constructing an interdimensional portal, and there's a huge accident at the facility, and creatures from another dimension start fucking coming into our realm. All right, we're talking the most diabolical, demonic creatures you can even imagine. It's like Guillermo del Toro was getting fucked on an acid trip, and he dreamt up some horrors from the depths of hell itself. Cthulhu type demonry comes through. Spiders that weave webs that cuts flesh like acid. Tentacle monsters that are so enormous they just grab a man with the tentacle and drag him off into the fog. And that's the other thing. There's a fog that encompasses everything. You can only see maybe 2 feet into the fog, and out there in the fog are the monsters. And inside, the people start getting paranoid. They start resorting back to this delusional religious nonsense, right? Like one lady's like, God is the one who's punishing all of you for your sins. And some people start going over to her side. So there's this whole mess going on inside the store with this group of religious freaks and the people who are just like, I think there's just some giant monsters outside. We need to focus on that right now. There's wasps that come fucking flying, and the wasp is like the size of a goddamn eagle. And if they sting you, you just swell up to this like a rotten tomato and fucking die. There is a monster outside called a behemoth that looks like it's about the size of an aircraft carrier that walks on like 8 legs that are each like a fucking tower each. There's a crab monster that's like a mix between a crab and a fucking praying mantis. And it just scoops people up whole and slices them in half. It is rough. And
this movie sounds really cool.
The ending is one of the darkest things I've ever seen in a film. I'm not going to spoil it.
I'll need to watch that then because it sounds good. Have you ever seen I'm sure you have, Kyle, Requiem for a Dream?
It is one of the saddest, most depressing movies. I have seen it once. I will never see it again. Ass to ass, ass to ass. I've seen that scene a bunch of times, but I will never watch Requiem of a Dream ever again.
Did you guys Google saddest movie?
No, these are just sad.
Yeah, I did just to like get a reminder, and then I remembered
Me
watching
too.
Requiem for a Dream and was like, "Oh, that was sad." Like
I'm looking at Pay It Forward. You know, it reminded me of that.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Pay It Forward is really good. And
I haven't
sad.
seen $1 Million Baby. That's on this list.
It's kind of
Oh.
sad. There's that you know the guy from I See Dead People, the kid.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
and Kevin Spacey are in it, so you know what goes down there, obviously.
Yeah, a little bit of
Yeah.
friendly
Kevin
molestation.
Spacey's gonna-
First, I'm gonna pay it forward and then back and forward and back. And I see that. Shut the fuck up. No, it's a very sad movie as well. Fuck. I think Slingblade is terribly sad. It's a real. There's a lot of comedy in that film, but at the end, I cry.
Dude, the part of that movie that I liked so much, where he's like in that room with the guy at the very end, he's like, "What do you plan to do with that?" It's like,
I aim to kill you with it.
I aim to kill you with it. He's like, okay. And then he just like stands up real quick and just right down into the middle of his head. Just
So if you're gonna kill me, you best call an ambulance or a hearse. What number you dial? Well, you just dial 911. All right then. And then he just kind of stands over him. He's like, Carl, whack, whack.
yeah.
And Carl just kind of goes, as he looks at his work, and he goes over to that phone, fucking 911. Then you could tell they're asking. He's like, I just killed a man. Like, and you know, you can't hear the other end, but
Some people call it a sling blade. I call it a Kaiser blade.
they're like, are you sure? And he's like, I'm pretty sure that second whack near about cut his head plain in two.
Yeah.
And then he goes there and makes himself some mustard and biscuits and sits there and fucking eats them.
Isn't that a God? What's the name of that actor? Sorry, I don't remember.
Dwight Yoakam?
The guy who plays the sling blade guy,
Oh, that's Billy Bob Thornton.
Billy Bob Thornton. Man,
And then John Ritter is in there too with one of his best performances ever.
that's such a good movie.
It's a
Also very sad.
so emotional. That little kid's a good actor. He's been in a lot of shit.
He was in. I think when he gets older, he's in Fast and the Furious.
Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, that's one of the few Fast and Furious I've seen.
Yeah.
And Tokyo Drift did not suck me in, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and not watch the rest of that series.
It's fun. It's popcorn movies, and if it's what you're looking for, then it's some of the better popcorn movies being made.
I just don't like racing movies very much. I'm not that's
It's
not one of my
hardly
genres.
about racing anymore. Nowadays, it's
See, that's
like,
how little I know.
it's The Rock hanging out the passenger side door, redirecting missiles, scooching along the ice with his foot. Popcorn. It's James Bond nowadays. That's what it
Yeah,
is.
they literally begin in the first movie stealing DVD players, and by the latest ones, they're like saving the world.
Isn't like the new James Bond gonna be gay or something?
Black,
No.
I think.
No.
Wait, I'm wrong on that?
Yeah, there was some talk of that. That's not happening.
Because I do not want to watch
I?
James Bond sweet talk another man into
He'll-
bed.
He'll be neither gay nor black nor a woman. But what's his name is playing James Bond in the next movie again.
Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig, who's an excellent Bond, I think. Getting a little old though.
Who's the best Bond? Pierce Brosnan?
Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig? Okay.
Yeah, Casino Royale is the best Bond movie I think that has ever been made. I don't care for the cheesy nature of the old films. I did as a child, and if I'm sure there's a lot of 12-year-olds who might be into like
I haven't seen
watching
him since I was that
watching
old.
Connery or even Brosnan or Timothy Dalton or any of those guys. But it's cheesy nonsense, and they literally said that Austin Powers was the main motivating factor for them making the transition to a more centralized in the real world type of Bond, who was more like an actual secret agent who had character flaws than like this judo chopping, laser watch having like bravado.
Dude, no James Bond movie is as good as Goldmember or Austin Powers. What
Spy
the
Who
fuck was the
Shagged Me.
first one? Yeah, The Spy Who Shagged Me. Those, and I used to think I only laughed so hard at those because I was a little kid. I watched
they're funny as
Goldmember
shit.
recently. Fucking hysterical.
I
It is laugh out loud. The
girls.
whole I love girls.
I lost my penis in an unfortunate smelting accident.
In an unfortunate smelting accident. You're good at that. I need to work on that voice. I don't
I've
even
been
know what it
doing
sounds
that
like.
one for years and years. That was my first accent. Do you want to know that? You know the
that may
genesis?
be your best accent, Kyle.
You know what the genesis for that accent is? That is Dana Carvey doing a Lorne Michaels impression, and fucking Michael, what's his name? Mike
Myers.
Mike Myers stole it and made a fucking $1 billion franchise out of it.
Really? I had
Yes.
no idea that whole thing was.
He'd been doing that
from,
voice for Dana
was
Carvey.
lifted from Dana Carvey.
This is how Lorne Michaels sounds when he's looking over a meeting and he's telling everyone they've done a shit job. Yeah.
You've got, dude. You've got the over. You've got it so perfect. Looking over the meeting. Like, that's great. You should. Why don't you fucking bust that out more? Silly impressions are the funniest thing.
His name, Fat Bastard. He weighs a metric ton. So great. Yeah, I love those movies as a kid.
I'm fat because I eat.
And I eat because
I'm sad. No,
It's a vicious
I'm
cycle.
sad because I eat. And
Oh,
I
I'm
eat
dead
because I'm
sexy.
sad. Yeah.
Oh, I'm dead sexy.
It's got those like fake ass like gelatin tits. he's
Dr.
rubbing on.
Evil, I've got a deal for you. You keep your money and your mojo, and I get your wee man. Oh,
Yeah.
baby. I ate a baby.
My mojo. And she's running.
My other favorite Fat Bastard quote is he like comes in and he's got a shit, so he's wanting to hurry up negotiations. He's like, I got a crap on dick that could choke a donkey.
I like when he's about to run and jump over that pool. He's like, I sure hope my wire team is ready. He runs over there. Oh,
Yeah,
man. Those
fucking
movies
gold.
remind
Yeah,
me
they're
so
great.
much of being like a young adolescent and just laughing my ass off at it.
I was in the 8th grade. I was in the fucking 8th grade, and Spy Who Shagged Me came out, and I fucking loved it. And I was just like, that's all I did at school is I did Austin Powers and Dr. Evil, and all those accents. You know, Will Ferrell was in that first one before anybody even knew who Will Ferrell was. He's the henchman who like Dr.
Yeah,
Evil
gets dumped into the pit.
Right, back to business. I'm down here, and I'm still alive. Just very badly burned.
If someone were to get me right now, I might be okay. Right. So anyway,
Yeah, those are fucking great, man.
Those are such good movies.
And you know the whole thing between Dr. Evil and his estranged son Scott, played by what's his name, Green.
Seth Green.
Fucking, yeah, Seth Green. Like they're like in that therapy session. It's great. He's
I
like,
think my dad wants to kill me. It's like, your father doesn't want to kill you. No, he's actually right. I am trying to kill him. He's like,
so far unsuccessfully. The boy's quite wily, like his old man.
yeah.
Most of the shows that we talk about that are our favorite shows, I'm rewatching Battlestar right now. I just finished season 2. There's 2 more seasons to go of the main thing. I really like that show.
Dude, there's a character in it. I don't know his name. He might be a doctor or something. He's a white guy, might be balding. It's been a while since I watched it, but he goes back and forth as like good guy, bad guy.
The XO? The second in command?
I don't think so. I think he gets marginalized in terms of command to some extent. Shucks, he's like in love with the cyborg.
That's Gaius Baltar. He's got tons of hair though. He's got the
Does
long
he?
flowing black hair. Yeah. He's the Gaius Baltar. Yeah.
The guy
The balding character would be the XO, the second in command of the Battlestar, and then you got Adama played by I can't think of his fucking name. Almost Edward James Olmos. And you got Starbuck.
are you doing an actor's name or a character's name?
A little bit of both.
Gaius Baltar.
That's the character.
Isn't Edward James almost? That's the guy with like the lumpy face.
Very lumpy. Lots of pock marking going on.
That guy was well casted.
He's so good in that show. He's got a lot of emotional moments where he breaks down and cries, but you feel, cause it's so emotional. You're like, yeah, it's a strong man crying right there.
At one point, he talks about the importance of keeping the military different than the police. You know, if you use the military, use the police, because the police go against the citizens, and then the citizens tend to become the enemy of the government if you have the military policing them. And you're like, oh, that's so wise.
It's like the military's one purpose: to fight the enemy. The police are protect and serve. When the two cross paths, and he goes into this whole thing. He's got this gravelly voice, and everything he says is very serious. Lee, you've got to go on a strike mission right now. Like it's always like that. It's just he's rarely lighthearted, but I like all the characters. I like that they so I don't know if you ever watched the original. They had the guy from Bonanza in it. It was real shit.
I watched it when I was a kid, and the dumb dog thing.
So Starbuck, that was bad too. That robot dog. Starbuck was a guy in that rendition of the show, the original. But this time around, they cast it as a blonde chick who's super hardcore. I really like her.
I really like her. It took me a little bit to get over it because Starbuck was like the hunk of the show back in the day.
The hunk of this show has got to be Lee Adama. That guy has like Superman physique. His arms, like there was one point where he gets shot in the chest, and for like, I don't know, a month or so, like he's down for the count with his chest wound recovering. He was still doing his bicep curls the whole time. His arms are legitimately this fucking big. They're like you can see each muscle to group in. He's like a bodybuilder, like, and he's constantly wearing like a black wife.
What's Lee Adama's name? Is it Apollo?
That's his call sign. Yeah.
I'm gonna need you to speak in character names because I don't know actor names.
Well, Lee Adama is his character's name. His fighter pilot call sign is Apollo, though.
I see. I only know him as Battlestar Galactica.
Battlestar
Very, very, very good. There's a lot of content there too, but it's outstanding. I can't think of anything I want to watch right now. I swear there's like nothing out there that is right for me to consume. I'm not excited about Narcos. There's just nothing.
Give it an episode.
Give it a try.
Because the guy who plays Pablo is pretty charismatic, and you kind of get it's got kind of like a Donnie Brasco feel to it because you kind of get like the point of view is from the DEA.
I'm told it's like boring documentary style stuff.
The first episode. Yeah, the first episode had some like flat. They showed Reagan sitting there with Nancy and the just say no. They talk about the politics that were involved that like that set the socioeconomic climate in which he prospered and he became a cocaine kingpin. So yeah, there's some like they show some news stuff, they show some news reports and stuff, but for the most part, it's a really well developed story with good characters and good acting.
You should get into Fargo.
Fargo's outstanding. Is there a second season yet? Yeah.
They just started the second season.
In real life?
No, like it's up on if you go to like Stream TV or whatever, you can find the first episode of the second season. It's funny.
Dude, Fargo is good.
I need to check Fargo out. I believe you. I saw like a 30-second piece of an episode the other day, and it looked really powerful. It looked great.
So No Country for Old Men?
Yeah.
And I forget the character's name who wields the silent shotgun and the bolt gun.
Anton Chigurh.
Okay.
Javier Bardem.
Something about that character, right? He just kind of lives in a world with no rules, right? Now the haircut, but that's not the point of him. The point of him is that he seems to have a complete disregard for police and authority and whatever. He is just a man who does whatever the fuck he wants to do, has his own sort of code, and societal norms, everything mean nothing to him. Fargo has that too. Fargo has a character that just
Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah. And I am having a hard time verbalizing just like he threatens a policeman, and I don't want to ruin the scene, but there's a part where he threatens the policeman, and afterwards you're like, ooh. Like
I didn't expect that to pan out that way.
Yeah, you can't
really went in there full of confidence.
You can't threaten a cop and expect the cop to back down.
Especially with a bowl cut like he has in that show.
Dude, Fargo is great. I need to watch that. I need to see season 2. I wish I could binge watch it though.
Yeah, I like the movie.
The movie was really good.
Fargo.
The TV show might be better.
Yeah, it might. I don't know. I like
about
William H.
that.
Macy in it a lot, but Martin Short does just as good in the TV show.
Oh,
Playing the kind of
I want to
loser.
see this now. It sounds like it's got an all-star cast over there.
Yeah.
Billy Bob Thornton's in it, huh?
Yeah, he's.
Yeah, and I
character.
almost always hate him, but I love Fargo.
Oh, he's strong.
I know
When-
you like
I
him.
like Billy Bob. He's a fucking
too.
performer, man. Come on. When he's that corrupt prison guard, fucking Halle Berry, and that was it Monsters Ball or something like that. You go all the way back to when he was fat in Tombstone, and he's the one over there. He's dealing cards, and he's causing a big scene and making a lot of trouble. Nobody will come in there and gamble, and Wyatt Earp goes over there and slaps him around. And he says, "Skin that smoke wagon and see what happens." It's great. It's gold. He like slaps him in the face. He's like, "Now, Mister, I'm telling you right now." Pow! He like smacks him again. You gonna do something or just stand there and bleed, boy? And it's just like he just tears him down. Of course, he runs off and gets a shotgun and shows back up. And then Doc Holliday sees him and like dresses him down again. And at the end of it, he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot you were there. You may leave." He's great. Like he's got, it's almost a cameo role, but I loved him in Tombstone, and I really love him in Sling Blade, man. Like after Sling Blade,
great.
like he's got cachet forever with Sling Blade. I feel like that's like I feel like he played a better mentally challenged man than Tom Hanks did in Forrest Gump. Tom Hanks in Forrest Gump was kind of a comedy, right? Like, I don't know many retards that act like this and meet 4 presidents and become a millionaire and become a war hero. It's kind of a comedy.
That's a
little
really
silly.
good Forrest Gump.
Thank you. And
Yeah, it's way
But
better
he-
than Forrest Gump. Definitely.
I need to watch Sling Blade. I'm not sure I've seen it.
So emotional. Oh, it'll tear your heart out.
Kaiser Blade.
Wait, it's something about a Kaiser blade. Now I think I have seen it.
I'm about to call it a Sling Blade. I call it a Kaiser Blade. I love you, boy.
1996.
That's pretty good.
I love you too,
Wow.
Carl.
Director, Billy Bob Thornton. Screenplay, Billy Bob Thornton. Story by Billy Bob Thornton.
I took that little feller and put him in the shoebox. He's still moving around a little in there, but I put him in the hole and covered him over. And it's so sad, man. It just, I'm sitting there listening to him like tell this story to this boy, and there are just tears welling. And when he gets to the final part where the boy's like, "I wouldn't have done that. I'd have took care of my little brother, and he'd have had a chance to have some fun." And he's like, "I didn't know no better. I done the best I could." And then there's just silence for a minute, and then the tears just like pouring down. And the boy goes, "I love you, Carl." And Carl doesn't know what to think about it for a minute. He just puts his arm around the little boy and goes, "I love you too, boy."
And of course, Sean Connery with Lord of the Rings. They wanted him to play Gandalf, and they were gonna. It was another one of those 10% deals or something like that. It was a big percentage of.
I don't know what his deal was, but Tom Cruise turned down Iron Man. You know this
Good.
story.
Thank
Yeah.
God he did not play
wait, hang on.
Gandalf. Jesus, that would have been horrible if Sean Connery.
hobbits.
Have you seen 2 hobbits fucking around, not taking the ring where I told them to go?
What about very old friends?
Fly away, you fucking idiots! I have to fight the Balrog down in the depths, you know.
You don't think he could do a good job?
Arwen, I'm not gonna not hit you just because you're a lady.
You don't think he could do a good job? He couldn't be a
It
Gandalf.
would have been so distracting. Maybe it's because it's like solidified in my head that Ian McKellen is Gandalf.
He's so good.
Ian McKellen is just a better actor.
He's a
than-
better
than
actor.
Sean Connery. Sean Connery plays different variations of Sean Connery.
Yeah, I agree with that. Look no further than that Highlander movie that I always make fun of, where for some reason he plays a Spaniard with a Scottish accent. His name's Ramirez.
I'm not changing my accent. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Right.
And the worst part about it is, like, all right, that's the character that he's the age for, and he's a big star, and we've got him.
Mhm.
But his co-star is Scottish. His co-star is like the character that he's playing with. That's a Scottish character who also cannot do a Scottish accent because he's Belgian or something like that. He's like Dutch or whatever. And so you've got like a Dutchman playing a Scotsman and a Scotsman playing a Spaniard.
It was like the beginning of a joke.
Co-starring. and like neither one of them can do the correct accent. You would think Sean Connery could like coach him up on Scottish.
Yeah.
It distracts me when there's a whole cast of unknown actors and then like a Matt Damon or a Sean Connery or something. It's like, look, you're either bringing in new guys or you're not. You can't just have Robert Downey Jr. and then Taylor and I star in a film.
That is so true, because it'll be like the beginning of the zombie movie and it's all the no names like, we gotta get out of here, we gotta get out of here. And then like Tom Cruise pulls up in a wagon, it's like, get in. It's like, all right, I know who the hero is now. I know I know who cannot possibly be killed.
This zombie movie, a bunch of nobody actors. Matt Damon pops on the scene, kills 3 zombies, says, how you like them apples? And then you're like, oh, but that's from the Boston thing. Fuck this.
You like them apples. He's like out and out saying like, I was also in The Departed.
That's Good Will Hunting.
Yeah. No, he was in The Departed, right? No.
He was, but the line is from Good Will Hunting. How do you like them apples?
My bad.
What's your background, Taylor?
I just wanted to seem smart, so I put someone's bookshelf behind me.
Well, that is definitely a girl's room. I can tell by the chair.
No, well, I don't know what books are in there. Modernist cuisine. Kyle, you are muted. Oh, there's kids up there.
Yeah, there's kids up there. That's like a family living room or something.
There's a family tree. They're probably Mormon, really into genealogy. If you want to like learn about genealogy, talk to a Mormon. They are so fucking into that. Like they will track their genealogy like back to Joseph Smith making up that nonsense in the middle of Missouri 150 years ago. Which
obviously that room appeals to me, but I think it's been decorated by a girl.
It probably has. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to decorate my room. I would what's back here? Yeah. No, bowling pins. It's masculine.
Where
actually that's
oh no, they're painted bowling pins. And
that's true. That's like reclaimed art.
That green chair at the corner.
The green chair looks very femme.
All right, fine. Well, I'll get a new
half
bookshelf.
The books are pink and orange.
All right. Well, sorry it upsets
Make
everyone.
better books.
I'm angry. It's girly.
I don't like it either.
No, I like it too much. I think I'm a bit of a cross-dresser.
Man, I am interested looking at this like list of top actors. There is no fucking way that Warwick Davis is 7. There's just no.
It was listed as dubious on the thing.
What have you been in, little man?
Was he? Let's look.
Oh, that's.
Oh, his Wikipedia page isn't super helpful.
No, it's not. Oh, it even says he's like, my hips are dislocated, very painful knees. Oh, that's got to be super rough. Not only are like you short, but your body just like falls apart. Being a dwarf is such a difficult life to lead. Think about that.
Wait, who are we talking about? Is Warwick
Davis? Yeah, he's do you know in Harry Potter that little guy that teaches one of the classes?
Oh, Professor Flitch or something like that. Yeah, I know that. Something like that. He teaches like he was the one that was teaching it.
Teaches ghouls.
Flitwick or something like.
Can you show that picture out loud?
Yeah, I remember the character now. I remember him like teaching Ron Wingardium Leviosa. The levitation spell.
Is that it? I thought the guy who died, who always talked like this, was the one who taught him like the death spell. Is that not?
The
one with the black hair who spoke slowly.
Oh, you're talking about Professor Snape.
Yes. He was one I liked him. He and then the guy who lives in the woods doing his own thing. Hagrid. Those were the two top characters.
Yeah.
Harry wasn't bad.
Yeah, Radcliffe was great.
Yeah, he's a great actor. Like I was like, have you noticed that like Elijah Wood and Daniel Radcliffe both starred in an enormous fantasy series around the same time, the biggest blockbusters like almost of that decade. And now if you want to find fucking Elijah Wood or Daniel Radcliffe, you have to watch the most weird out there indie movies, and it's great.
You know why?
Like it's cool that they're like, I'm just doing this now. Like I'm doing whatever the fuck I want. I got Lord of the Rings money. I got Harry Potter money.
Yeah.
Does this script seem cool? No, then I'm not doing it. What, this one? It's going to have a $600,000 budget. Okay, this seems dope though. I'm doing it.
Yeah, I think that's intentional. I think that those guys, they're actual actors. Like they're not like some people aren't like real actors. They're just kind of like celebrities, but then there's
Mhm.
actors, and I think both of those guys are actors, and they have plenty of money. They're like set,
Yeah.
and they really want to like work on the like weird projects that speak to them. And while almost none of them appeal to me, so I don't watch them, I do appreciate it. But
That
yeah,
one
that's-
guy.
the guy that plays
from-
Snape is Alan Rickman, one of my favorite actors ever. Like he's the bad guy in Die Hard, and like he elevates Die Hard above like a dumb popcorn action movie, like and makes it like, I don't know, one of the best action movies ever. It's great.
So Warwick Davis has been in all 8 Harry Potter movies, and they almost average $1 billion. And he's been in 4 Star Wars movies.
Oh,
So that's
shit.
why, you know, it's not like he's carrying any of those films, but that's why
Mhm.
his numbers are so high.
Who does he play? Yoda?
I don't
No,
know.
Yoda's all
actually.
CGI, man.
Oh yeah.
Woodbin. I don't know who Woodbin is.
The original Yoda was no, that wasn't a guy. That was a puppet, right?
There's a puppet. Yeah.
He played Wicket. Woodbin. Is he a different person in every fucking Star Wars? He seems
Anytime
to
they got a
be.
little critter that they need a guy in a suit for, I think.
Oh,
he's
he
the-
was the Ewok, right?
Wait,
No, I'm
Ewok.
serious. They did use little.
I'm
people
looking
in
at the
Ewok.
role. He
He's
played
totally- yeah.
Wicket, Weasel. He
Boom.
played Wolven and Wald. He has a different character every Star Wars. I don't know who these people are.
I don't
I
know.
recognize the Ewok, and yeah, I don't know
And-
the other two.
And he was also in the Han Solo movie.
Well, good for him, man.
That little guy.
Rich as can be.
Yeah.
That would be funny if he actually.
You know
did
who
do a
does an
great
amazing
impression.
politician impression? Have you seen? Is it Vice? He plays Dick Cheney.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
who does? Is it Christian Bale that does it?
Yeah,
Who's-
it's
is-
Christian
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He
Haven't
like
seen that.
gained a
Can
bunch
you
of
find a
weight for
picture
that and stuff.
of Christian Bale as Dick Cheney.
I gotta watch that. I love Christian Bale.
Oh my gosh! And I mean, you're gonna see a picture of him looking like Dick Cheney, but his mannerisms and his posture, and he just kills it as Dick
The
Cheney.
scene where George Bush and Dick Cheney are having lunch, and Bush is eating those hot wings, and he's talking to Cheney about maybe being his VP. Like, it's so good. It's so good. He's a tremendous actor. He's one of the best.
He is.
He went from Batman to Dick Cheney in a very short period of time and then back to other stuff again.
Who's
Yeah.
better than him? Like, who's a better actor than Christian Bale? Really?
You know,
Daniel Day Lewis.
Lewis.
Is that it?
Yeah.
And is that
Tom
only?
Hardy.
And is that only because Daniel Day Lewis is selectively picking like just
He doesn't work
all-star
nearly as
movies?
much. He doesn't work nearly as much. Look,
What
I
about
don't like
Willem
most
Dafoe?
of Daniel Day
Willem
Lewis's
Dafoe
movies.
is excellent.
I
How
like
about
him.
people who are considered great actors? Tom Hardy is often on that list.
him.
I had his second one. Oh, Joaquin Phoenix. Do I have his name right?
Joaquin.
Joaquin
He's good
Phoenix.
too. He
Okay.
plays like a lunatic weirdo so well. Probably because
Yeah.
he
He
seems
plays
like
these
Yeah.
antisocial characters so well. Yeah.
yeah.
Kyle, I need an assist. Who played the main character in Nightcrawler? Do I have his
Jake
name?
Gyllenhaal.
Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal is another
He's
one.
good too.
Fantastic. Yep.
I think that was the
Joaquin
first movie
Phoenix-
I watched from him that like blew me away was Nightcrawler because I hadn't seen him that ghoulish before. Like I mean
Oh.
Donnie Darko, but that's different. He's being plagued by the ghouls in that one.
I have another one who impressed me. Who plays the guy with multiple personality disorders? The movie might be called Split.
Michael Fassbender.
He's
I
in
think-
the it's in the same universe as Unbreakable.
It's McAvoy. It's Henry.
Yeah,
Henry
McAvoy. My bad. I mixed those two up. But yeah,
Yeah,
he's
they're in
a
this.
split guy.
One's Magneto and one's Professor X. They're the same movie together.
Sorry.
Yeah, that guy's incredible. The one who plays the movie's called Split, right? Do I have it
Yeah,
right?
you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's super good. He
It's-
plays like 7 characters, all very well.
It's in that
Oh,
Shed
yeah.
Lamalan universe of.
Yeah, of Unbreakable and stuff. He plays women too, and oh my gosh, like he just kills it.
He plays like a little kid. He's like, yeah, I don't know. You better be careful. And it's just like, wow, he just really seemed like a creepy kid all of a sudden. But he was an old
Yeah.
lady a little while ago, and it would be so terrifying to deal with someone like that and like never knowing who you're fucking dealing with. Like,
It'd be horrifying, especially when they're like, don't trust what Steven says about the rest of us. He's a liar. And it's
Yeah.
like, ugh, I don't like that. I'm going to put you in a home if Reagan hadn't shot them all. You know?
Yeah, there's a couple great actors right now. Philip Seymour Hoffman is one that I missed. Like I
Yeah.
didn't do it right. I watched a movie last night, The Bucket List. I've seen it before, but good gosh, that movie is good.
Is that Jack Nicholson?
Jack Nicholson and the guy who always plays God. He's black and he has
Morgan
freckles.
Freeman.
Morgan Freeman. Yeah. Dude, that movie is so good. If people don't know, the basic premise is the two people meet in a hospital because they both have cancer. It's not going to go their way. And one guy writes a bucket list. The other guy has nearly limitless money, and he's like, we should do this. And here we go.
Okay.
You
don't know this movie? It's Oscar winning.
No.
Seen it.
I know about it, but it seems kind of like a sad movie about old men dying. I didn't really want to watch it, so I never have.
I'm pretty sure you'd like it. I like it.
I'm sure I would. I like both those
Yeah.
actors.
Mhm.
If you want to see an old Bruce Willis action movie you might have never seen before, there's one called Last Man Standing. You ever seen this? It takes place around 1920 gangster era.
Ooh, I like
And it's the old trope that Clint Eastwood did in the Dollars trilogy, where you've got a stranger who rides into a town that has two big gangs, and the stranger plays them against one another. Clint Eastwood was the first one I ever saw do it. I'm sure it's a
What's it called
literary
again?
trope. Last Man Standing. So it's a little. It's just right at the end of cowboys being a thing, because they are in Texas on the border with Mexico. But it's in an era where the Tommy gun exists now, and 1911 pistols, and Bruce Willis uses dual-wielded 1911 pistols with I don't know how many magazines. There's a scene where he's getting ready to go fight, and he's just loading mags. He's got. You're like, where did he get all this ammo? But he has it. He has hundreds and hundreds of rounds. Because when he gets in a gunfight, he doesn't go, bang, I got you. He takes both of his pistols and goes, and the bad guys fly through windows, and then he reloads, and then he finds another one to do that too.
They fly through windows. I would like to see more 1920s gangster stuff. Yeah, we often talk about like, hey, let's all agree for the
LA
sake
Confidential.
of this,
If you haven't seen that, you haven't seen the best of it.
Okay, that we're sort of in the second half of the superhero bell curve, right? I love superhero stuff more than most did, and even I'm like, all right, I don't have the same excitement around Thor that I used to.
I saw a Reddit thread, and they put it really well. They said that the Marvel thing is like when you play an RPG and you've completed the main quest, and now you're just going back and knocking out those little side quests. They don't really have any consequences. It's just like, I don't know, did I ever get that fish hooked back to that guy?
Everybody's
Lenny's looking for that hat, I think. And
Yeah, so
that's why subversive heroes are popular now, like the boys. But listening,
okay, good point. So, but let's just assume that superheroes are kind of on the second half of the bell curve. What do you want to be next? We've talked about this a lot, and 1920s gangster stuff is on my short list.
That would be cool. I
Sure.
do like gangster stuff.
Yeah,
LA Confidential is my favorite one. It's I think it's in the 20s. It's in Los Angeles. Obviously, it has one of the strongest casts that have ever been put together. You got to go back to something like A Bridge Too Far to get a better cast. It's
seen that.
everybody from Walter Cromwell. Look up the cast of A Bridge Too Far. It's you're like, wait, this exists? All these people managed to get in the same movie. What's the movie I'm talking about?
LA Confidential has
LA
Kevin
Confidential is
Spacey,
a-
Russell Crowe, Guy Pearce, James Comrell, David Stratham, Kim Basinger, and Danny DeVito. Good gosh.
Yeah, it's real good. It's long, maybe 2 hours and 30, maybe 2 hours and 40.
218. Yeah.
I don't know. They're dealing with some mysterious noir type stuff. They're investigating a big capital murder case that has some secret stuff going on. Kevin Spacey's really good. You've got three cops who do their job completely differently. You've got Kevin Spacey who wants to be a celebrity cop. He wants to be tied into the TV shows that film there in LA and to be their consultant and to be kind of like known by the public. And then you've got Guy Pearce who's like, by the fucking book, I don't care if you all hate me. He's like, you're gonna be hated in the department. I didn't come here to be liked. I came here to get ahead. And like that's a direct quote from him. Like there's a scene where like a cop beats a prisoner and he's like, you're gonna inform on your fellow officers? Absolutely, I will. You're gonna be hated. You're gonna be a pariah. I didn't come here to make friends. I came here to get ahead. And it's all right, corporal, or whatever the fuck. And then you've got Russell Crowe, who is like the good soldier boy who will go in and get his hands dirty, beat a confession out of someone, whatever it takes. And these three are at the heart of this huge conspiracy, and they're being played against one another. And what they really need to do is come together and like have a conversation. but the shit, and it's a good movie. It's a good
Russell
movie.
Crowe's
There's
good at
crazy
being
stuff.
intimidating. Like he's such a
Back
big
then
dude.
he was. He is a physical force in this movie. There's a scene where
He beat people up in real life.
someone's being interrogated and Russell Crowe's on the outside watching the interrogation happening. and the guy is talking about raping and beating this woman, and she's held somewhere still alive. And Guy Pearce is trying to like trick this guy into giving the information. And Russell Crowe's been out there leaning on this office chair the whole time, one of those wooden ones. And you can just hear the chair's creaking. Finally, it breaks in his fucking hand, and he just runs in there and like fucking dumps all but one of the bullets out of his pistol, and and immediately starts clicking them off. Where is she? Click. Where is she? Click. And this guy's like, click. Where is she? Like, he's ready to kill this guy in front of all the cops. And the guy pisses himself, gives an address, and that's it. And they go. It's a good movie.
I always get him mixed up with the 300 guy, Gerard Butler.
They look similar. Gerard Butler's like the budget version of him.
I liked him in
Russell Crowe. Watch 1993's Virtuosity, where he's the villain and he hunts down Denzel Washington. So it's like a really young, skinny Russell Crowe, and he's like weird and creepy.
Yeah. He does not look skinny anymore, though he does look weird. He's big. He's
really? Is he fat now?
Big man.
Great big fat
man.
person. Yeah. Yeah, I saw him doing one of those like GQ interviews or whatever, where he like talks about all of his biggest movies, like, here's what I did for Gladiator, and it's like, damn, man, you looking rough.
I could never look like prime Russell Crowe, but 2022
yeah, you
Russell
could.
Crowe?
Dude,
no, I was meaning like as far as being handsome, like you can't work your face out. But his face now, he's getting a very Phil Margera feel. Like this is him very thin compared to what I'm seeing.
Well, body fat makes a lot of people handsome. Like I just think in general, like you look. I've been watching professional soccer lately, football, and God, all these guys are good looking because all of them have like protruding cheekbones and sunken in this. Like they're just being that thin and doing the kind of cardio a European football player does. They look good.
I do like a nice, ugly super athlete. Like that might be one of my favorite things about Alexander Ovechkin is that he's an absolute dog to look at. He's an ugly man.
I don't think you're giving Rod Brindamore his due.
Rod Brindamore is not ugly. You can tell that a handsome face was beaten out of him. Like he was a handsome man, and you can see the beginnings of handsomeness. It's just his nose has been broken. It's it's got the girth of 3 noses. It looks like it doesn't look good, but.